Hey everyone, Gill Gross here post-match. Casper Ruud versus Karen Khachanov, US Open semifinals 2022. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video in 3, 2, 1. Casper Ruud moves on to the US Open final, his second major final of the year, second of his career, where he will face the winner of Frances Tiafoe versus Carlos Alcaraz and could become the world number one, will become world number one unless Carlos Alcaraz wins the U.S. Open. Incredible. Ruud, look, who could have saw this coming this quickly, right? But there's been so much rapid development and improvement with Casper. He's clearly worked so hard. He has some unbelievable abilities, and he really has worked on his weaknesses. So whatever is coming Casper Ruud's way is very, very well deserved. He wins this one in 4 sets. I thought it was an okay match. I don't have incredibly complimentary things to say about it as a whole in terms of the entertainment value of it, but it was fine. First set, kind of sloppy, 4 breaks of serve in the first 8 games. They go to a tie break. Khachanov makes an unlucky unforced error on the first point where the ball hit the net cord and went long, sort of unlucky. Then he made 2 very bad unforced errors in the next few points on the forehand side. So he fell behind in the breaker, staged a mini comeback, and then at 6-5 in the tiebreak, most important point of the match, no doubt, looking back. And they play a 50-shot rally where Khachanov both players are digging in. Khachanov's dictating for most of the point, especially in the middle and towards the end. And Ruud showing unbelievable fitness because his feet never really slowed down. You know, a lot of players would have just collapsed there. Their legs would have gotten too tired to continue playing the point. But his legs held up. His discipline held up. Obviously, the consistency was unbelievable. And then when Ruud finally had the green light to attack, he hits a backhand down the line to force the error. And that's not even a bread and butter shot for Ruud. And on the 55th shot of the rally, he's able to come up with that. Remarkable set point win for Ruud. And he kind of seizes that momentum. Second set, he dominates. He wins that one 6-2. He won every point on serve. He was 16 of 16 on serve. His forehand really caught fire in that second set, as did his first serve. So that was, blowout city. Now it's 2 sets to love. Khachanov, he doesn't go away. I didn't think he would. He didn't. He started serving really well in that third set. And then Ruud threw in a real clunker of a game at 5-6. Khachanov didn't do much to earn the break of serve, but Ruud with a backhand unforced error routine, a double fault, a forehand that I believe he was stepping into attack that he missed on the, let me double check myself here. On the set point, 15-40, a serve plus a mid-court forehand that he missed on the break point. It wasn't good. It wasn't a good game by Ruud. But, hey, it happens. He had been so solid for so long, and he might have felt that finish line pressure creeping up on him a little bit. In the fourth set, he didn't have to ever really feel that same kind of pressure because, much like the second set, he was able to just dominate proceedings. He was the far better player in that fourth set and applied a lot of pressure on all of Khachanov's service games for the most part, had another really good forehand set, and won it once again 6-2. I think the biggest revelation for this match for Ruud was his backhand. Because you look at the match and you think, okay, look, Ruud's got the better forehand by a lot. Ruud's got better movement. But Khachanov probably has the edge on the backhand and probably has the better and bigger first serve. Generously, that's how you might look at the match, right? Again, that's generous. And what happened is those advantages for Khachanov, they didn't really play out. They weren't real advantages because Ruud really held his own with his backhand, which is a new thing for him. I don't think he could have done this earlier in the year. His backhand at one point was very slow, very spinny, and it was getting taken advantage of by a lot of players. Too many players were running around it. He wasn't passing very well with his backhand. He wasn't doing much damage with it because it just wasn't fast enough. Literally, it just wasn't fast enough as a shot. But now he's just learned how to flatten it out. So it's just a huge difference for him. And now he's facing a guy in Khachanov who has one of the better backhands out there, and he can hold his own. He can take it down the line and do damage now, even. So that advantage really isn't there. Then you look at the serve, right? Well, okay. He averaged 1 mile per hour slower than Khachanov, first serve speed. Averaged the same exact speed on the second serve. Khachanov's 6'6". Ruud is 6 feet. So, pound for pound, Ruud, and let me give you the numbers on the first serve. I think Ruud averaged 116 and Khachanov averaged 117. So those are very healthy numbers by both, but for Ruud, it's just impressive because he's an undersized guy. He's now become one of the best pound-for-pound servers in the world. I say pound for pound, but for serving, it should really be more inch for inch or height for height. So look at first serve points won. 83% for Ruud, 68% for Khachanov. Now, that has a lot to do with Ruud's forehand and Ruud's finishing abilities, which I'll get more to in a moment, but there is no advantage for Khachanov, I feel like, in his ability to get purchase on the first serve. And when the taller, slower guy is losing that stat, first serves won, it's a pretty bad sign, because I think you could have bet good money, safe money, that Ruud was going to do better from neutral in this match, and therefore was probably going to win the second serve points battle, which he did. So I don't know, where's the advantage for Khachanov here? If it's not serve, if it's not backhand, where is it? Pretty tough to say, right? Ruud's forehand, it's a problem. It was great in this match. And, you cannot let him hit forehands from the ad side. Khachanov, I don't think he was imposing his will enough from neutral. And I don't think he came in with enough tactical clarity to really avoid allowing Ruud to hit forehands from the ad side of the court, which was a problem. I think that he needed to hit his backhand. Khachanov needed to hit his backhand with more urgency, because if you go cross court and you go kind of safe cross court, Ruud can kind of set up that ad side, either, run around and get forehands, which is the nightmare situation, or from that ad side, really step in and hit a hard backhand to set up the forehand on the next ball. But think about positionally, when you're hitting to the ad side of the court, you are shrinking the amount of space on the court that you have to hit to Ruud's backhand, which, even as much as I'm saying that Ruud's backhand is better, you still take it over his forehand, right? So when Khachanov goes to the backhand, he's shrinking the amount of court he has to hit into where Ruud is going to be hitting backhands. So you have to go to the forehand side, and you have to do it with conviction. And I don't think Khachanov did that enough. Too much to the ad side and not strong enough when he did. So what am I getting at? Ruud's hitting forehands from the backhand side of the court. It's so difficult once he hits that forehand. First of all, it's just enormous, but also it's harder to read. He hits that angle inside out, that really heavy inside out, and you're kind of screwed from there because it's too big. You can't really take your backhand down the line unless maybe like you're Medvedev. You can't really do it, or maybe Zverev. So you have to go back cross court, but Ruud is camped there. And once he hits that first inside out forehand, it's basically he's hitting forehands for the rest of the point. And then he'll wait for his chance to go inside in. Usually he doesn't wait very long. He'll do it as soon as there's an opportunity right away. And there's so much intensity on that forehand inside in, it's really difficult to deal with. And, you know, Khachanov's movement isn't the best. It's good for his height, but it's kind of like Del Potro, Soderling level movement, where you always say, like, it's good for his height. And we've reached the point where, you know, there's some 6'6" guys who just move well, not even for their height. They just move great. But Khachanov's still that kind of, I would say that like 2000s, 2010s level, you know, early 2010s level 6'6" guy, where he does move well, but only for his height, right? Only if you're grading on a curve. Plus, he's not that great when he's stretched out to his forehand. So, look, Ruud's forehand, big problem in this match. Won him a ton of points. Really, really good. And Khachanov just let him get too comfortable on it. The last thing I want to talk about is Khachanov's play in the front court and how crucial his difficulty finishing from inside the baseline was. 3 examples. 1, he was up a break 4-3 in the first set and missed 2 easy volleys to give the break of serve back. Then it was 4-all. Really easy volleys that he missed. He's not a good volleyer. Down 5-3 in the tiebreak. I'm going to zoom in on just one point here where Khachanov had a pretty easy backhand pass, didn't finish, but the volley was kind of fought off by Ruud. And then Khachanov, with a slice grip from the middle of the court, had a chance to hit a chip lob. And I actually thought the decision was pretty good. But he literally didn't get enough depth on it at all. Usually a chip lob like that, it's not too difficult to control. Like, that's the advantage of using the slice when you lob, is you can control it well and get good depth on it. And he literally just botched it. He butchered it bad, and Ruud had an easy overhead to go up 6-3 in the tiebreak. So that was obviously really crucial. Then in the second set at 1-all, when they were still on serve, Khachanov from 15-30 missed back-to-back. He made good first serves and missed back-to-back attacking forehands from inside the baseline to give the break away. Khachanov, his forehand is way better from behind the baseline and way more consistent because he gets to just kind of rip it and focus on, you know, hitting it big. But once you come inside the court, you know, you have to take some pace off, and it becomes about the feel and the precision of the forehand, and he really struggles. So he misses those back-to-back forehands from inside the baseline to give that breakaway, and then it was a runaway set for Ruud. Then you look at, you know, net points won. Ruud was 20 for 23, 87%. Khachanov was 17 for 31, 55%. Big difference there. Ruud is a better finisher from inside the court. Uses his forehand better when he steps inside the baseline. Hits some pretty good backhands down the line from inside the baseline, Casper, in this match as well. And he's secure on those volleys, and Khachanov is not always secure on those volleys. So I thought that was a pretty big deal. Ultimately, really good performance from Ruud. I think he came in with more pressure on him. You know, the favorite, world number 1 looming, but also just a massive accomplishment to make 2 major finals in 1 year. I don't think a lot of people expected that. So, big time for Casper, and his improvements are really starting to shine through. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.